It is week 15 of the NFL season. We have two parlays cooked up for you. It's Austin joined by Logan. And Logan, honestly, I had to drag him into this video because last week he lost by 2 Keenan Allen yards. Oh, brutal for the man. He was so close. Mine didn't really stand a chance, missed by a couple legs, but we're back for more. We've had a pretty good hit rate on our parlays. This week we're at least going 1 for 2. A reminder though, if you go down below and maybe you're better on FanDuel, which if you aren't, you definitely should be because we have quick links down below. So you'll see one that says Austin's quick link, you'll see one that says Logan's quick link, and you'll see one that says a combo for the psychos out there. That's both of our parlays combined together. Now we do have an overlapping leg today. We took the higher line, which will be in Logan's parlay, which speaking of Logan, before we dive into that, we do have our NFL best bets video that was posted right before this one. Go check it out. We got 4 picks for Sunday that we really like. But Logan, you were super close last week. I want to let you lead it off. What's your parlay going to be for Sunday? Feeling confident that you're going to get one to go through the hoop. Who you rolling with?
Yeah. Last week's parlay was certainly a heartbreaker, but you know what? We don't let that get us down. We have some fun with these, and let's start with the first leg. It's Cooper Kupp. You ever heard of him? Of the Rams, taking him 60 plus receiving yards. Obviously, these are all alt lines, and they can be found on FanDuel. But I really do like Cooper Kupp, what he's going to do this week. We know the Matthew Stafford to Cooper Kupp connection, super strong. He's always open. Do I think Washington secondary can defend him at all? Absolutely not. Again, Austin mentioned we're taking the higher of Cooper Kupp's lines in our combined parlay. This is the higher. He is taking him for 50, but I'm taking him 60 plus because this is definitely in his wheelhouse. Now let's go to leg 2. Brandon Ayuk of the 49ers, 50 plus receiving yards. Look, the way this San Francisco offense operates, there's a lot of mouths to feed. You know, you got McCaffrey, you've got Kittle, and obviously Deebo Samuel. But Brandon Ayuk is sneaky, always open. I definitely think there's some vulnerability in that secondary, and I think Brandon Ayuk kind of sneaks his way to 50 plus yards. Obviously, he's the big explosive down the field guy. I think all it takes is 2 to 3 catches, and he should be really close to 50 plus receiving yards. Now let's go to leg 3 of it. Stephon Diggs, a guy that I've taken, plenty of times on these parlays. I'm taking him 60 plus receiving yards. Honestly, when we look at this Dallas versus Buffalo game, I think there's going to be a ton of offense. Obviously, the over-under set pretty high in this one. I think Stephon Diggs kind of feasts his way, with a high volume. Obviously, he's Josh Allen's number one guy he's looking for. With a high volume, and target share, I think he gets 60-plus receiving yards in this one. Let's go to leg 4. We're switching it up, going to a running back. I'm taking Travis Etienne, 40-plus rushing yards on this one. We look at the Ravens versus Jaguars game. And I think it's really going to come down to a lot of, running the football, surprisingly. I think whichever team can establish the ground game is going to have, the success in this one. And if we look at Jacksonville's identity, do they really want Trevor Lawrence dropping back and being, the type of quarterback that has, 35 plus passing attempts? I don't think they do. I think they would love to lean on Travis Etienne more. And I think they establish him against Baltimore, play more of a, ground and pound possession type game. I think 40 plus rushing yards will be, easy for Travis Etienne this week. And now that leads us to leg 5, to close out this parlay. I'm taking Tyler Lockett of the Seahawks, 40 plus receiving yards to close out this parlay. Look, the way I look at this Seattle offense, obviously you've got several wide receivers on here that can really get target share. But I look at the Eagles secondary, and I think there's definitely some vulnerability there. Obviously, Darius Slay is going to be out. So how they really defend DK Metcalf, I don't know. I just know that it should leave a lot of short and intermediate stuff for Tyler Lockett, and he can dink and dunk his way to 40-plus receiving yards. Honestly, it could even come through an explosive play. I like how Tyler Lockett will perform against this Eagles secondary, and I think he definitely gets his way to 40 plus receiving yards. So as you can see on the screen, that does it for mine. Plus 624 on FanDuel. I really do like this one. I think this is my favorite parlay that I've cooked up in several weeks. But Austin, what do you got cooked up for the people this week?
Logan, I love your parlay. The only negative is you got to wait till Monday to cash that one out. But heck, if you ever get to Monday, then you can at least have a hedge opportunity, maybe middle. I don't know. Either way, I really like the ones you got cooked up. Let's start with mine, though. I need some revenge after last week's just debacle. And we're going to start in the 1 p.m. window, then go to the 4, then go to the 8 o'clock. And we're going to start with Jaden Reed and Rachaad White, my first 2 legs, kind of doing 2 same-game parlay, or 3 2-leg same-game parlays. What I'm rolling with. Jaden Reed combined both their names for 4 receptions. Look, this is the guy, and I don't have him as regular prop for a regular over, but last week he had 8 receptions for only 30 yards, and they raised his prop up to 52.5, the highest it's been this season. This guy hasn't even sniffed that line in 5 straight weeks. And sure, Christian Watson's out, but he hasn't been close to it. That's my little line read. Get out the monocle. I think he's going to have a big day, and I think he does it at least with 4 receptions. Very short range guy, but he has the ability to make some big plays. And then another guy, Rachaad White, for 50 rushing yards. I know Rachaad White hasn't had the best season, but this guy dominates the workload for the Buccaneers. And this is the Packers defense I'm not scared of. They've really struggled to stop the run. And Rachaad White, rush attempts line, 18.5, one of the highest on the board. Might be the highest this week. So I'm pretty confident in both these two fellows to get us out the 1 o'clock window with 2 green check marks. And then we'll move on to the guys Logan was just talking about. I really like Cooper Kupp, but I also like Puka Nacua, each to record 50 plus receiving yards. Now, Logan kind of tackled Kupp. And I'll talk about Nacua. I mean, really, you just have to talk about the Commanders secondary, which stinks. The Commanders just cannot stop anyone. And the only thing they're decent at stopping is the run. And we've seen Matthew Stafford look really good. And they finally got on track, him and Cooper Kupp last week. Puka Nacua is always there, always getting his targets and receptions. But I think this is just a two-headed attack. I don't think the Commanders are really capable of stopping either guy. And they probably won't even try to stop either one. This is just a great matchup for both these two fellas. I know it's kind of sketchy taking 2 guys for 50 receiving yards, but there's so much volume to go around, and over-under in like the near 50s. I'm pretty confident these two fellas can get at least 50 receiving yards each. Probably one of them goes over 100, and one of them is kind of a sweat to get to 50, but I think they're both going to end up at the end of the day have well over 50 receiving yards. And then the final game is that Sunday night game. Hopefully the Jaguars are leading, and we see Travis Etienne getting a ton of rush yards for Logan, because on the other side, I'm taking 2 Baltimore Ravens receivers, taking Zay Flowers and Odell Beckham Jr., each to record 25 receiving yards. I kind of like both the regular overs, and we think about these two guys. These are the main pass catchers for the Baltimore Ravens, and you're going up against the Jaguars team, one of the best teams at stopping the run, does not allow a ton of rushing yards per attempt. And so by doing that, you're probably going to slow down that rushing attack, get them in the second and long. You're going to have to see Lamar Jackson throwing the ball. And while Isaiah likely will get his targets, maybe we'll see some Nelson Aguilar too, and maybe some Rashad Bateman. But at the end of the day, Zay Flowers and Odell Beckham Jr. are the 2 main targets. Odell's kind of going deeper than Zay Flowers, and so he could get it done in 1 reception, but also Zay Flowers just has a ton of receptions, tons of targets to go around. So I really like both these two guys for 25 receiving yards a pop. I think we could see them cash easily in the first half, and if the Ravens are trailing, which would not surprise me if they do trail in this game, Jacksonville is no slouch. They're not a bad team at all. We will see them throw it even more in the second half. So I really like both those two fellows to wrap up the parlay. I really like it. I know it's only plus 456 odds. I know it's not great, but I'd rather get one that I'm certified really, really like than try to force some other things in there that I don't love. At the end of the day, all that matters is that we cash and build up our bankrolls, and I think that's the biggest and most important thing. And of course, if you do combine Logan and I's parlay, I think you get about plus 3,000 odds. We took Kupp for 60 yards in that one, but either way, we really do like the parlays we both have for this weekend. But Logan, do you have any final thoughts before we get on out of here?
Well, as you mentioned, it would be really cool if both of ours could hit, in 1 week. I know there's going to be some people playing them both because, you know what, I think we're really due to hit both. But as you mentioned, I really do like the value. And when you're making these, NFL, parlays, and you're just trying to, take these guys alt, lines, I think that's how you kind of have success with these. We've seen, Austin, how many times these guys end on the hook. They're really sharp lines. So, playing them down a little bit, I do think we have, a really good recipe. We're cashing this week.
Yeah, if that full parlay cashes, I don't know what we're going to do. But I know a lot of people out there have definitely went below our psychos that are clicking that combined parlay link. And we appreciate all the psychos out there. We appreciate anyone out there watching the videos. As always, if you want to go check out our favorite best bets for Sunday slate, these are straight bets. We like regular guys, overs or unders. That video is linked on the screen. Enjoy your Sundays, everyone. And we'll see you guys back again next week with this parlay video, as well as you'll see us in a ton of other videos. It's Austin Logan signing out. See you in the next one. Peace.